Rory McIlroy, Masters champion, 2 years in a row, the hottest player on the planet. And right now, he's limping, not metaphorically, not from pressure, literally limping around Aronimink Golf Club days before the 2026 PGA Championship because of a blister under his right pinky toenail. And before you laugh that off, stop. Because what went down this week in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, is one of the wildest, most unexpected stories to hit a major championship years. A man who conquered Augusta National twice, who finally silenced every critic who said he'd lost it. That man had to climb into a golf cart and ride off a practice fairway 3 holes in. That is the reality heading into one of the biggest weeks in golf. So let's break down exactly what happened, why it matters more than people think, and what it means for the entire PGA Championship. Because this story changes everything. First, context. Because context is everything here. Rory McIlroy, coming into this week, is not a player fighting for relevance. He is the world number 2, the reigning Masters champion, and the only man alive with a realistic shot at completing a calendar year Grand Slam in 2026. After 11 agonizing years of near misses at Augusta, he finally broke through at the 2025 Masters in a dramatic playoff over Justin Rose. Then, almost impossibly, he went back to Augusta in 2026 and won again, becoming just the 4th player in history to successfully defend the green jacket. This is a man completely transformed. The body language is different. The press conferences are different. The golf is different. He told reporters this week, "The further I get on in my career, the more I start to realize how special these moments are." His coach Michael Bannon flew to Florida to prepare him for the final 3 majors. He scouted Aronimink weeks early. He skipped 2 signature PGA Tour events specifically to prioritize them. Everything about Rory's 2026 has been calculated, controlled, and pointed directly at him. And then a toe. Here is exactly how this unfolded day by day. Friday at the Truist Championship at Quail Hollow, a blister develops underneath the nail of Rory's right pinky toe. He downplays it, says it's sore but he'll be fine. Most people move on. Sunday, final round, Rory is visibly limp. He finishes the tournament, ties for 19th, and finally confirms what viewers had already noticed. "I've got a blister on my pinky toe on my right foot, but it's underneath my nail, so I can't really get to it. So it's a little sore, but I'll be all right," he said. Monday night, Rory decides to handle it himself. He soaks his foot in the bath and shower to soften the nail. Then he rips it clean off. The entire toenail, gone. And the next morning at his Tuesday press conference, he pulls his shoe and sock off and shows reporters the aftermath. "Do you want to see it?" he asked, and then showed off what he called his surgical handiwork. Tuesday morning, Rory sounds optimistic. He sized up to a 42.5 European/9.5 American shoe, half a size bigger than normal, to give the toe room. He says he feels fine heading into his afternoon practice round. Tuesday afternoon, holes 1 through 3, the optimism evaporates. Rory McIlroy ends his Tuesday practice round prematurely due to foot discomfort. He was limping on his way to the 3rd tee box. At one point, McIlroy sat on the ground in the 3rd fairway to take his shoe off. He left after 3 holes. The shoe comes off on the 4th tee. The cart arrives. Practice round over. Just like that. Tuesday afternoon, clubhouse. Members of Rory's support staff are spotted arriving with multiple boxes of shoes, trying to find a combination that works. ESPN's Jeff Darlington reported McIlroy was inside the clubhouse, trying on different pairs. Wednesday, and here's where it gets slightly better, Rory completed a full 9-hole practice round without stopping. "I feel soft having to walk in because of a little toe," McIlroy said afterward. He found a solution, cushioning around the pinky toe, combined with a shoe half a size bigger and slightly wider. "Pleasantly surprised," he said of how it felt. "Walking downhill when the foot slides to the front of the shoe maybe gives me a bit of bother, but it's fine. All good." Wednesday was a good day. But Wednesday is not Thursday. Thursday is 72 holes of competitive major championship. Here is what casual fans miss about a foot injury in professional golf. Golf is not played from the hands down. It is played from the ground up. Every single swing, driver, iron, wedge, chip begins with foot pressure, weight transfer through the legs, and torque through the hips. Your footing is your foundation. If that foundation is even slightly compromised, the entire structure above it shifts. And at major championship level, where the margins between winning and missing the cut can be a single shot across 4 days. Slightly compromised is not acceptable. Now factor in Aronimink Golf Club specifically. This Donald Ross design, restored by Gil Hansa, features 174-plus bunkers, severely undulating greens, and a layout that demands precise distance control and shot shaping on approach. Players this week have specifically called out the greens as the course's biggest defense. They are very severe in spots, said Matt Fitzpatrick. The greens are going to be the defense for the week. That means awkward stances, uneven lies, bunker shots from difficult angles. Every single one of those scenarios puts pressure directly on Rory's right foot, and there is historical precedent for exactly how bad this. In 2024, Jon Rahm was forced to withdraw from the U.S. Open at Pinehurst due to a cut between his left pinky and fourth toes. A small foot injury, a major withdrawal. It happens. Now here's where it gets genuinely fascinating, because Rory's toe doesn't just affect, it reshapes the entire tournament. Scottie Scheffler enters this week as world number 1 and the defending PGA champion. He skipped last week's Truist Championship specifically to prepare for Aronimink. He has posted 3 consecutive runner-up finishes in 2026 and is absolutely hunting for a win. With Rory's physical question mark now hanging over the week, Scheffler arrives as the clear, uncomplicated favorite, and he knows it. The two haven't shared a tournament since the Masters, and a potential Sunday pairing between them was one of the most anticipated storylines of the week. That storyline just got complicated. Then there is Jordan Spieth, teeing off Thursday at 8:40 a.m. Eastern Time in the same group as Rory and Jon Rahm. This is Spieth's 10th attempt at completing the career Grand Slam. He has no top 10 finishes in 12 starts this season, but he's been honest about where my game has been getting better and better. It's plenty good to have a chance to win, and he made something clear about his priority this week. If I can win one more tournament in my life, it would obviously be this one. If Rory is even 5% off his best, players like Spieth suddenly have more breathing room. Cameron Young, world number 3, adds another layer. He won the Players' Championship, contended at the Masters, and beat Scheffler by 6 shots at the Cadillac Championship. He is no longer a bridesmaid. He is a legitimate threat, and a compromised Rory only opens that door wider. The LIV golf angle adds its own tension. Jon Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau both arrive with their own distraction. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund announced April 30th that it would not finance LIV golf beyond this season, throwing the entire league's future into uncertainty. Both players were asked uncomfortable questions about it at last week's tournament. So while Rory is managing a toe, Rahm and DeChambeau are managing an existential crisis for their entire professional home. 2 very different kinds of pressure, same major championships. Here is what makes this harder than it looks on paper. Rory McIlroy spent years battling mental demons at Augusta National. The collapses, the near misses, the weight of expectation that turned one of golf's most gifted players into someone who would tense up just walking onto the property. He fought through all of that. He conquered it twice. That mental transformation is arguably the most impressive thing about his recent run. But a physical problem at a major is a completely different kind of battle. You cannot mentally outmaneuver a sore toe. Every downhill lie, every uneven bunker stance, Rory is going to feel it. And after every shot that doesn't go exactly right, there will be a voice in the back of his head asking, was that the foot? That doubt in a major over 4 days compound. Rory himself admitted that walking downhill when the foot slides toward the front of the shoe still gives him discomfort. Aronimink has slopes everywhere. Downhill lies are not optional. So where does this leave us heading in a round 1? Best case, the cushioning and wider shoe hold up across all 4 days. Rory manages the discomfort, stays mentally clean, and his world-class ball striking takes over. The Grand Slam chase stays alive heading to the U.S. Open at Shinnecock. Middle ground, he plays through it, but the physical distraction costs him focus at critical moments. He finishes the tournament, but outside contention. The story becomes about what might have been. Worst case, the pain returns and worsens under competitive pressure, the way it did when he went from feeling optimistic Tuesday morning to riding a card off the course Tuesday afternoon. His movement and balance suffer. A man who leads the PGA Tour in strokes gained off the tee and strokes gained tee to green never gets to show it. Wednesday's practice round was encouraging. But competitive rounds bring a different kind of pressure, physical and mental. And right now, the entire golf world is watching Rory McIlroy's right pinky toe like it's the most important thing in sports. Because this week, it just might be,